Hey folks, this is Lucid and welcome back. We are coming in on I think the last episode of the series. I might do one more, like an after action review. I probably will. But this will take us through the end. Somebody is going to win by the end of this episode. So buckle in. We are attacking you here, and we have a big battle. We're bringing in a bunch of Mew Atlases, and we're going in. It's just mostly PD and stuff. So we steal the non-Karnanak PD. And we brought in a Mew Atlas here that's going to do Gifts of Heaven and Meteor Storm. And so you can see he casts Meteor Storm and or he casts Gifts of Heavens, and it's quite effective. You can see Meteor Storm coming down, then when he does Gifts of Heaven, it's just ruinous. It was a little expensive for us. We lost a fair amount of dancers there. I think the cost of doing business with Meteor Storm or Gifts of Hep, whatever you call it. But we killed a fair amount of his stuff, and I don't know how expensive this is, but it felt good. And then here we basically do the same thing, which was actually also expensive. We lost a lot of dancers at the foot. And so by this time I'm kind of thinking, okay, maybe we're not going to be taking this throne from Karnanak, because if his little crappy stuff is this hard for us to kill... I think honestly the Lich is what did it for us here. Spamming Disintegrate. Yeah, all the E stuff was basically fucking worthless, and then... yeah. We get attacked by a Mound Fiend from Thalamonth, which is a little rude of them. And then here we see what he's actually got cooking up inside this throne. And this guy's... this is shit your pants city. I mean... look at this. Like, how do we kill these things? Look at them. They're sacred. So they got all the resistances. They've got 20 protection. They got 60 HP. They're communion slaves, so they're going to have every single buff in the game on them. Just about. And then these guys at the back, I mean, I think they're even scarier, aren't they? I don't know what the difference is between these guys 63 and these guys 63 here. And I guess they're just different varieties of the same unit. But I mean, let's watch and get them all buffed up. Oh, we can't because the battle's over. Yeah. RIP. We're not taking that, guys. There's just no way. There's no way. So what I've decided here is we're going to leave some feet on top. I don't have my actual turn orders loaded in. We're giving up on this turn. I ask around on the Discord and say, like, how would you kill this? And I posted screenshots of this army. I was like, how would you kill it? And I showed all the... I mean, you have to imagine... They don't even have all the buffs yet, right? But Soul Vortex, you know, Temper Flesh, Elemental Fortitude, they're not all ethereal, which is one nice thing, I guess, but, I mean, not that it matters. Personal regen, not going to work on these guys, will it? No, it's they're inanimate. I can't remember if it works. I don't think it does. His god's here, too. His god is the... not that. I thought his god was here. There was something that made him blessed turn 1. I guess I thought there was a god here. One second, let me check. Maybe it was this crystal. I guess his god isn't here. But everything here is already blessed. So one of these things must have an auto bless effect. Or maybe I just don't understand the nation. It's entirely possible. Either way, I understand enough about the nation and enough about dominions. And this is not going to be good. This is not going to play out well. But yeah, what do we do? I mean, rigor mortis is going to be up. There's so many ways we get fucked with this. I think our best bets, there were a few options I came up with. One was just hitting him every turn with Master and Slave, and then Vortex of Returning and teleport away a portion of his army. Just collect a little tax. That would be very, very slow, though. And I guess it could work. But it would take like 2 or 3 turns to get back out. Like for my guys to get, because they get sent all the way back to you. Probably 3 turns. And then the guys who are going to be doing the Master Enslaving, they don't have Earth, so I can't like teleport them to a nearby cave. There's just no way I can think to do that quickly. So that's kind of out. But I mean, that's an option. And, you know, potentially I could just stick my head inside the fort, keep sticking my head inside with Master and Slave. And just not keeping the units, but just effectively killing them. What I'm worried about is he would just charm most of them back. Which I think is what's going to happen. Because they can't run, they can't get killed easily. I mean, it would do some damage, but not much. And then there's a chance I get enslaved. So, I don't know. Not a huge fan of that. But the fact that he can't break siege with this army is pretty important. So I could try to do something cheesy like that. I just don't see... And he could keep teleporting in more stuff. I don't see myself taking this from him. Like, I just don't think there's a way to do it. Not easily, anyway. So yeah, I think this is like basically an unkillable army for me. I could turn timer it, but turn timering with a lot of like we saw that other battle, how it, like we got close in the battle replay we saw, and then the real replay, it actually worked out where we did turn timer them. But like that was just a phenomenally costly thing for me, and I can't do it. I don't think with just like a guy. Maybe a golem could kind of do it since they're mindless. They don't have to worry about enslaved mind spam. But timing it, like I don't know. I can't think of an easy way to kill this. I mean, this is like the mana drop from hell. The things these guys are weak to is like magic duel spam, which I obviously don't have. And I'm not going to have any amount of shatter casters, which is going to make a difference here. Honestly, maybe one of the better ways is just spamming a huge amount of undead at them. So I've got a ton of liches, but I just don't feel any degree of confidence I can kill this. So we'll keep them pinned down. What we're going to instead do is shift all our armies south. I've told, basically this turn I make a decree to, we also can see Rlyeh has taken this from Arcadia. I make a decree to Arcadia and to Rlyeh that I have no way of taking this throne, and that in about 5 turns, Karnanak's going to be completely out of control, and he's going to win, and we might as well just give up to him. But anyway, my only shot at winning is going for thrones, so I basically say I'm marching south to get this throne. So to do that, I'm going to need to declare war on both of them. So I do it this turn, and I'm going to be marching south. Little do they know that that is not actually my plan. My plan is to take, and this took me a lot of head scratching and thinking about, my plan is to take this throne. Yes, the underwater throne from Rlyeh. And you might say, Lucid, you were on heavy narcotics, but this is a cave throne. And what that means is I can teleport guys in. I was actually looking around, I was like, where are there any cave thrones I can get? Because like I'm desperate now. I need one more throne. No way to get it. I can't get it from Karnanak. So I'm like, fuck. Anyway, cave throne it is. And I've got a very extensive plan for this throne. I'm going to explain the plan. We're going to basically first take all these armies and we're going to pull them south. Then, with the armies that I have pulled south, we're going to fake an advance with this army. This army is going to run out and pretend like we're heading south this way. We're going to raid Arcadia and stuff as we go south. Then, once that's happened, and we've kind of started coming south pretty far. Well, by pretty far, I mean here, depending on the timing. And we're also going to basically mass teleport a group of guys on here. The thing I have to figure out, and this is what I start trying to wrap my head around here, and I'm gonna have to. I want death mages there, high death mages. So what I decide to do is empower this guy in Earth so he can magic phase in. I'm also going to have to get a lot of water breathing gear to bring an army underwater, because I have one guy in Abyssal who can bring armies underwater, but he can't magic phase move. So what I need to do is I need to make a shit ton of gear. So we're gonna have these guys basically doing these pills of water breathing, which are really expensive. You only get 10 size worth of air breathing, which is not much. But I don't have really water mages, so that's all we're going to be able to do. One of these guys I'm going to start right now, and I don't know if I do it this turn or next. I start empowering him up in air. And that is because once I get air 4, I can do a barrel of air breathing. And I've got a lot of air gems, because as you have a lot of trouble spinning gems that aren't earth. Here, we're going to, maybe I empower him again, and then we start making Goblets of the Sea King. I think I empower him, and we make Goblets of the Sea King. Unless I have a thing. I don't. So that's what we do. And we're going to get a shit ton of water breathing gear. That's going to allow us to do two things. One is it's going to allow us to cross this river. And my original plan is just to teleport everybody in, but once I start looking at all the key mages I'm going to need, I'm going to figure out that part of my attack is going to be teleporting in armies, and another part is going to be key mages that are not going to be able to teleport in. Like my armies, they can all come in on top of... Basically, these guys can bring in my main armies. They have a fair amount of leadership. I can put barrels of air on them or whatever. They can bring in my main armies. With the spell they're going to cast, by the way, is this one. Guts of you or Guts from you. And 10 Art Gems to bring an army through, like Master and Slave. Astral Travel. So we're going to be doing that, but a lot of my mages I'm going to need. Like a lot of these, especially a lot of these Mew Atlases, they don't have any earth. Like these guys don't. So they are actually going to be part of a little bait squad, and my Liches can't magic phase move, and then it's a little... I don't want to give away... I'm going for this throne until the last second. So, like, I don't want to attack with amphibious mages underwater. And I also want to spend as little time as possible in Rlyeh Dominion, because I don't want to get insanity. So we're going to probably launch an attack where I attack on top of this, and then I attack on top of this, with key mages here that are big enough map move that when they attack here, if I also have this fort locked down, they can also move into the lake. At the same turn as we're magic phasing in stuff. Like, that is the plan. So it's basically, the plan is to surprise Rlyeh and magic phase in a shit ton of stuff and take that throne. And I think this is the least defended throne in the game. And there's also a decent chance that Karnanak doesn't really want to teleport a huge army on top of here, especially if he's going to bump into Rlyeh and have this stuff get driven insane. If he can't take the fort. So anyway, that is the plan. Now we're going to go start executing the plan the rest of this turn. So 75. We also have finished researching blood, so I've started spamming out eye tyrants now. I guess I haven't gotten any yet, but I think did I get it this turn? Yeah, we finished it this turn. So this turn I start casting Eye Tyrants. And then this army is going to move south. He teleported in a group of guys over here, like a pretty nasty group. An extremely nasty group, actually. This is expensive for him, apparently. Like, I think for each army leader, it's like 10 gems. So we'll see. I enslave a fair amount of them. And then I do have my meteor shower guy here, which is going to be kind of clutch. But I also have a lot of Mew Atlases exposed with very little army, which is probably what he was thinking. So I steal... Let's watch that again. This is Magic Face, by the way. I hardly steal anybody, and I guess that's because they were blessed turn 1. How are they 22? These guys are 18. They're base 15. Magic bonus of 3. That's from being blessed, auto blessed. These guys 17. 18. Okay, he had some way to do anti-magic turn 1. Like before the battle starts. I don't know what that was. Well, let's see if we can figure it out here. Yeah, I don't even really know. These battles are so crazy, it's really hard for me to even make sense. Okay, this guy cast it. Yeah, he's an 8 caster, so he cast it really fast, but I would still think... I think Master and Slave went off, it just didn't catch anybody, hardly. So, as for whether Master and Slave turn 1 is broken, it's strong, but it doesn't appear to be broken. Definitely not first Karnanak. Gifts of Heaven's pretty strong, though. So it's a kind of epic battle, actually. Big Gifts of Heaven spam. Our guys are running in to certainly die. Big Gifts of Heaven casting. Every time he casts Gifts of Heaven, it's like an Omega Gifts of Heaven. I don't even know why. It just, when he casts it, it just feels so much stronger. Is it this guy? No. Where's my Gifts of Heaven caster? Oh, it's this guy. He's paralyzed, but I guess, does this still go every turn? So anyway, this is going to continue. I'm going to speed it up real quick. Now, his guys don't march forward, right? So he's just spamming out a bunch of stuff, and all my chaff's going to die. But most of the things he's casting aren't going to kill me, and my guys can all take a hit from Gifts of Heaven. I mean, all the Mew Atlases can. Everybody smaller than them is basically going to still die. So they're all getting paralyzed, but they're not getting Soul Slayed. Meanwhile, his army's getting wrecked by Gifts of Heaven. Kind of fast forwarding through it here. Basically, it's just the Mew Atlases. And there we go, guys. Easy as that. So, we basically killed everything. Which now makes me think, well, maybe I could take it. You know, one thing I don't do, I never ping inside this. I don't know if this army that came out, I assume it was a separate army, but it potentially could have been the army that was inside the fort. If that was the case, I might could take the fort. But I'm kind of like, I don't feel very confident about this victory. Let's just put it that way. I feel more confident about fighting Rlyeh. So anyway, the plan continues. We march south. He also rocked me here. Fine. And I think that is about it for turn 75. So let's go turn 76. Turn 76. You can see we're preparing a lot of stuff. We're getting a bunch of eye tyrants. We're summoning a bunch of things. I'm getting golems. One thing I didn't talk about is I have empowered. I had a shit ton of pearls. No way to spend them. So I empowered this guy in auto, whatever you call him, in astral, because I figured he's immortal. Probably a decent chassis to empower. Innate caster, pretty good too for high enough astral. So he's empowered in astral. We gave him this book, so he's summoning golems for me. The golems are going to be an important phase of this because I'm going to use them to magic phase in. And I ultimately end up using them for something else I didn't expect, but I kind of do on the fly. Meanwhile, we pull people south. I'm pulling people this way, and we're going to get ready to go attack. We're actually going to launch our attacks from the cave. So this is going to be a staging point. This is going to be a staging point, and then this is going to be a staging point. You wouldn't think of. So anyway, everybody's basically going to haul ass over here. We're going to keep some just feet on top of this. And then, yeah. So that's basically that. That's turn 76. Turn 77. I'm skipping through a lot of the preparation stuff, but the preparation stuff is making sure I have some key guys and like a few different spell paths empowered in Earth so they can magic phase move, and then spamming out 77. And then spamming out all my items. So here we start. Okay, you can see he attacks me underwater here. This is me getting rocked. Okay, and then here, we have some magic phase attacks of ours. So here we magic phase attack. Okay, so we're actually springing the trap this turn. I guess I've prepared enough. So the golem's coming in here. This golem, I think I just gave him whatever I had, which included a lifelong protection. And then here we attack with some wolves. I think they died. Yeah. And then we launch an attack here against Rlyeh. And he must just think, okay, this was an army set to just deal with any army that he had. Like if he had an army there patrolling, we would just steal it. Little does he know that the actual purpose of this army is just getting all of my mages in position to jump on top of his throne. And then this army moves south, and this is a bluff. This army's moving south, and this is the one that looks like it's going to be threatening to take the southern... This is what my declared objective is. This army's going to move south and take the Arcadia throne, or the throne that was Arcadia's. And then Rlyeh attacks me here, or not attacks. This is where I magic phased in the golem. So he just had some troops moving there and they bumped into him. I think this golem has what, life steal from this sword and then boots of quickness and pretty good armor. So anyway, pretty effective. And then... yeah. And so now is the turn we actually spring the trap. So here's the trap. We have, as you can see, we magic phased attacked here. We moved and attacked. All of these guys have some water breathing item. Like he has a ring. This guy can breathe underwater normally. This guy's got pills. These guys have pills of air breathing. These guys have pills of air breathing, which they needed to cross the river. So that's a justifiable reason for them to have them. So like he wouldn't be thinking, oh, he's going to go underwater. He might think, oh, he just wants to cross the river. this is a little bit of a smoking gun, having this golem on top of this. But he could be thinking, okay, I'm just trying to lock down armies from moving in here to stop the main advance, right? Because this looks to him probably like the main advance. And I've declared this my advance. So, like, this is consistent with what I've been saying. But this army, so I'm a little thinking this army might come in, try to snipe this throne from me. So this army's going to move back and patrol, because we're not actually going for this throne. And this is as long as I need my bluff to last for, because this turn, we are going to be moving these guys on top of this fort as a supporting cast for the army. And then we are also going to be magic phasing in. This guy, so he's doing Guts of You. This guy's doing Guts of You. These guys are both, so they're carrying armies with them. As many armies as can get held by a Sea King Goblet. And this guy's got pills, which is not actually very many. I thought he had more. The pills can't actually hold that many. I must have done my math wrong. A lot of these guys are going to die then. Huh. I thought I had more. I thought I gave him this. Because a pill is what, 10? Oh no, 20. Yeah, I can't hold this many because it's 20 size, so it can really only hold like 7. So half of those guys are going to die. And then here, this guy's coming in with a barrel of air, and he's got a lot of dudes. And I'm making sure, I wish I had more of these boulders because they're really good at sieging. The thing I'm most worried about is I need to one-turn pop it. Like I need, and I don't think he knows that I'm going to attack here, so I wouldn't expect iron walls to buff up the wall strength. But I need a, and it's actually kind of close. I had to do the math, and I only am in excess by like 100. But anyway, we're bringing these idiots. Plus these guys, I've got a couple Illiths that are coming in too. These guys, all the E1s are coming in just by themselves without any troops. This guy's coming in by himself. It's just a high-powered death mage with a lot of death gems. I forget what I have him scripted to cast. We'll probably find out. Life after death, basically. And then I've got some liches that are just going to go attack over here because they're not going to be able to get on top of this in time, I don't think. And then from our capital, we've got a bunch of people Guts of Viewing in. We've got this guy Guts of Viewing in. Not a lot. We've got this guy basically. Bringing in as many snails and dudes as he can hold. I think that's it. I mean, it's kind of a lot. I think that's it. So, anyway, everybody is Guts of Viewing in, and we're going to have a big battle here, and we'll go ahead and do it. So, 78, we'll pull that up. So here we magic phase in. And this is a lot of magic phases. This is like a Karnanak style. I mean, not nearly as impressive, but our version of it. A lot of mages magic phasing in. With troops. And then here, Rlyeh attacks us. I didn't ever actually notice this in game. So is this guy set to with a Ring of Returning, and he's earthquaking my army. I guess he doesn't know that Earthquake doesn't do anything to my army. Yeah, probably literally did nothing. I killed 27 feet. Just a waste of earth gems. But okay. I mean, it's something the Void Lurker can do, but just completely ineffective against this kind of army. We get attacked by Hars. And this army, which was in the declared position that it was going to go attack the throne, apparently Rlyeh had pre-positioned some assassins here. So they kill a Sophatros. Here they run into a Mu Atlas, and they don't have as much luck. In that case, this actually is kind of funny. You have to watch carefully. The Master Enslave, or the Enslaved Mind actually gets him. And then his own Water Elemental kills him, which is kind of funny. And then this is a different case because this is a Mew Atlas. So I think he's going to have to man fight. I think that's my god. Yeah. He just beats the shit out of him is what he does. That was a little risky. You know, it could have gone worse. And I don't have improved spellcasting AI, so he does all the buffs on himself. Otherwise, he would have summoned Earth Elementals and they would have killed him. I think. But that would have been bad. I could have lost my god, which would have gotten rid of my bless. So, could have potentially been really bad there. Here we fight again. Also Mew Atlas Prime, I think. I know, this is a different one. So, all my Mew Atlases are going to get a shot. Yeah, Blade Wind directs him. Okay. So anyway, Starchild Assassins with a water bottle, not enough to kill my Mew Atlases. These guys move in. And then we have the big battle. The battle in the Sacred Lake. Because last turn he saw that I basically magic phased in an army. Oh wait, no. Did I get this wrong? No, this was my magic phased army, and he was moving in reinforcements to this fort. But they bump into my army that's sitting on top of it now. And then we proceed to steal a lot of their troops. So that was this. Let's see, we steal some of them. And then here we get attacked by Bogus. And so that's that. So now we're gearing up for a very tricky turn. We have these guys here, which doesn't look like a lot. It looks like we're very isolated, but they're pretty strong because we've got a shit ton of Mew Atlases. We're in heavy enemy dominion, so people are going insane. Well, not actually very insane. Not very insane at all, actually. I thought there would be a bit more insanity here. Well, everybody's set here to storm castle, and basically whoever's here is coming, but I've also got, because what was limiting my ability to get troops underwater, like more troops, wasn't the quantity of troops I had, but it was my air-breathing items. And I didn't want to wait any more turns because I'm really worried about Karnanak. So I've just been crapping these things out. Well, I got another round, so we've got 2 more of these guys, and these, I think, are my last 2. And they're both coming in with the Sea King's Goblet and with another Barrel of Air, with as many troops as they can handle. Because what's probably going to happen, I don't think he's anticipated that I was going to move here. Magic Phase here. So I think he's been surprised. But all these guys from neighboring provinces are probably going to come. Now, one trick is that he might not have enough commanders here to bring all of them, but he also might. And if he does, it's going to be 150, 300, 450, and then whatever guys are inside. Like, potentially up to like 800 guys coming in. Though potentially not with a huge amount of mage support. Because I don't know how many mages he has, and then this fort is still pinned in. So, he may not really be able to bring a ton of mages, but we'll see. But there's going to be a big battle outside the fort. And I'm bringing in these extra troops, and the additional reason why I'm bringing them in is I could also potentially get rocked by Karnanak. That's what I'm actually most worried about. The problem with Karnanak rocking me, as I mentioned before, is if he rocks me, he's then going to be basically committed to taking this fort, which would probably win him the game. But, if he loses, that's obviously going to suck for him. But if he wins barely but doesn't have enough to siege the fort down, that's probably also going to suck, because then Rlyeh will basically kick him off the fort and those guys are going to die. So he has to win decisively, like with enough troops left over. But like without me being able to do gifts from heaven underwater, I feel like it's a pretty good fight for him. So anyway, that's what I'm most worried about. But we'll go ahead and pull up the next turn, which is basically going to determine whether I win or lose. And that is turn 79. Because if Karnanak teleports in and kills me, I basically lose. And then here, we do more werewolves. There's a few token battles here. I don't actually know what that one was for. And then here we have a battle outside the fort. So here comes Rlyeh with everything they can muster. They've got all their vastnesses coming in. Which you can see a vastness here. And the vastnesses can basically be everywhere. This one hasn't been Gift of Reason. This one has. Then a bunch of chaff, much of which we enslave. Some Ether Lords, which I guess were in the area. But not a lot of mage support. You'll notice there's some Star Children here at the back. They've got this guy who's going to cast some things. Oh, this actually is hero. This is Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Anyway, so there went Master and Slave. Now, the other thing... Okay, I didn't go through this. The golems I had 2 golems coming in, and then I also magic phased in my guy who was summoning golems, which is this guy I showed you before. The guy I've empowered in Astral. And he has with him a Rune Smasher. I should have put an Eye of the Void on him too, but some Astral gear. So he's really high Astral. He's scripted to do Arcane Domination. And that will get magic beings, because Rlyeh has a lot of things which are magic beings, which are mindless. And so they're going to be immune to, like these guys. They're mindless, so they can't get hit by Master and Slave, but they are vulnerable to Arcane Domination. They have really low MR. So we're going to try to hit them with Arcane Domination. That's going to come out on like round 4. And then he's also going to do Will of Fates. So there went. Arcane Domination. I got a lot of them. Now he's in deep shit. And I got Will of Fates off, so now all his stuff is Will of Fated. And you can see I've already stolen one of the vastnesses. I stole some of the Ether Lords too with Arcane Domination. Not many, but a few. And yeah, the armies of you march forth. He had a Wraith Lord too we stole. So when we look at the total battle for that, he lost 700 troops, so he was actually able to move most of them. Lost the Wraith Lord Vastness, Traitor King, this Kuthgul, the hero, an Ether Lord. And yeah, I think he was really caught off guard. I think he could have had this by no means was his scariest army. And then we got plus 200 units. Damn yeah. And then we have Battle in the Fort. Now, oddly enough, hardly any of my units come. I thought I had more troops here than this, but I guess not. But on his side, it's really just, it's a couple Ether Lords, and then it's a Void Lurker with a Ring of Sorcery and this. I don't know what he's actually casting. I guess I've stolen those Illithids. So the Ring of Returning triggered, and they got sent home. And now it's just the Ether Lords. And then we trample and steal the rest. There we go, we've got it. And that's basically the last turn. So I'll go ahead and show you the current turn. Which, oddly enough, it didn't show score graphs. Because, anyway, I claimed Thrones and turn 80 it ends. Did not think I was going to win this one, guys. A lot of times I think I'm going to win, and then sometimes when I think I'm going to win, I don't. But... yeah, I got magic phased by Karnak a few places. But more importantly, victory at the bottom. You reign supreme, you are Pantocrator, your enemies are cast down, broken, dead, enslaved, or imprisoned. You are the sole author of fate. You summon the tides, dictate the seasons, give or withhold fortune and life. Light up the sun at dawn and quench its fires at dusk. All move according to your will. Endless eons pass. So there we go, we won. But for some weird reason, score graphs didn't come through. They didn't come through for anybody. So we'll do an after action review in the next episode, so tune in for it. We'll talk about it. Cheers.